Are we seeing a philosophical change from Jason Garrett and the whole RKG, right kind of guy? Micah Parsons had an issue. Kelvin Joseph had to change schools. Josh Ball, domestic violence accusations, and Kavanaugh had a very, very strong response to that that went viral in the Metroplex. What do you make of the quote-unquote character concerns that they drafted?
Well, to Jeffrey's point, and obviously we should all be sensitive to the issue of dating violence and all these issues that you just mentioned. At the same time, with all due respect to Jeffrey, I can't judge, jury, and execution a guy who 24 hours ago I never even heard of. And suddenly I'm an expert on his dating violence case. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about him. And so, as always, we've got to give the alleged victim a voice, but we also have to give the accused a voice. I don't think that his answers, this kid's answers, were very polished on the subject.
Yeah, right. Who's his agent?
Pardon?
Who's his agent who's prepping him for these interviews?
Yeah. He's at Marshall, the Thundering Herd, and maybe this part of the football isn't yet his bag. But that's not about assuming innocence on the part of fans. What we do have to assume, I think, is that the Cowboys have done their homework here. We know they did on Micah. I know literally, factually, they did an incredible amount of homework on him. So that's a start. We'll hope they did it on the rest. Maybe RKG was DOA a long time ago. While the head coach here was talking to RKG, they were still signing guys with horrible behavioral records. They still signed Greg Hardy. They still drafted Randy Gregory. They still were going to have Joseph Randle be their 1,000-yard rusher. And Joseph Randle went to Oxnard with us, and the first time he saw the ocean, got in 1 foot of water and tried to dive in head first. So maybe RKG is a great T-shirt, but not something that they actually practice. I think what this organization really practices is, give me the same as Seattle, give me the player, and we will work on him. And second chance Valley Ranch is what I've called it for a long time. And it's a lovely philosophy. I don't think the Cowboys do it as well as they think they do it.
Now, last week we asked you what Micah Parsons meant for the Leighton Vander Esch fifth-year option, and you're like, why wouldn't you pick it up? It makes no sense not to pick it up. Go ahead, pay the modest salary, and see what happens. Michael Gelkin is reporting, Dallas Morning News, they are not going to pick up Vander Esch's option. What do you make of that? Wait, let me let RJ respond first.
Dumb. Yeah. Pick it up and trade him. Does this team does this team think? Pick it up and trade him. Get something for him. Now you're just going to lose him next year. You would get more value if you had him for 2 more, if somebody else had him for 2 more years. Am I the only one that thinks fourth dimensionally here, like Doc Brown and Back to the Future? Am I the only one that thinks more than just this week? Pick up the option and trade him.
You are a little bit like Doc Brown. Now that you think about it. I get it. The one thing to remember is, I think this gets lost in the shuffle, he's on the team this year. He's on the team and under contract this year.
Why?
And so if the guesses are correct that they're going to pass on him for next year, they can still sign him. He can still end up being here. But, Chop, I kind of like your idea of contractual control. What you'd be doing is betting on that he would have a good start to the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
A good, healthy start to the season. And at that point, you would try to trade him. If you don't get the trade pulled off, then you got a $9 million linebacker that I still find useful. But the drafting, not just of Micah, but then the drafting of Jabril Cox. And then the reaffirmation that Keanu Neal is going to be a linebacker. And the next thing you know, they got a lot of linebackers. And a lot of them have names. I would say this, though, Sean, on the subject of, this really puts Leighton and Jalen on notice. Dudes, you went 6-10. Which one of you don't think that you should be on notice?
Jalen.
Or on your or sent a message? Sean, help me with the list of members of the Dallas Cowboys roster that aren't on notice. Dak, Tyron, Zach, Tank.
Amari.
Anybody else? No, he's on notice. We might not keep your $20 million salary forever. CeeDee Lamb and Diggs. They're out of 90 guys, 6 of them aren't on notice. And so you bet Jalen Smith, you're on notice. You bet Leighton Vander Esch, you're on notice. And so are the rest of you 6 and 10 bums.